For Group 8's final project, we started with first finding data and then deciding how we want to generate our problem for our team to solve. We first searched through open APIs and discovered Open Weather Maps API, which allowed us access to current and future forecasts of up to 8 days. We then decided to connect weather to commerce, specifically alcohol sales in Iowa, due to the availability of data provided by the state on Google's free datasets, which are easily integrated into BigQuery. Additionally, to support our use of the Open Weather Map API, we also utilize Iowa State University's environmental data set, which provide us an average of Iowa's weather over the past 15 to 20 years. It then provided us a CSV based on the selected variables we want, which were the high temperatures, the low temperatures, as well as rain and snow. Based on all the data collected, we decided that the problem we want to solve was the effect that weather had on alcohol demand through the utilization of machine learning model. After determining the problem and collecting data, we loaded it via BigQuery, running 4 different queries to create the machine learning algorithm. We first joined the data sets, removing unnecessary columns and also removing null values. We then aggregated the data and grouped rows together to form a more coherent data set, allowing us to have a more general analysis on certain alcohol types versus brand, as well as just grouping data together so that we could visualize it easier. We then created a linear regression model to predict the total bottles sold based on all the other variables. Lastly, we completed our last cleaning of data through the query to ensure that the data reflected accurately and moved things such as negative sales, which also affected our visuals. As you can see here, this is our final data set that we use that calculated the predicted bottles sold. And we also added another column called predicted sales, which basically took the average cost of bottles there and manually calculated into this column.
Hi, my name is Kim Welch. I'm going to quickly walk you through the API portion of this final assignment. As previously discussed in this video, we decided to connect to the Open Weather API, and I'm going to walk you through some of the progress that we made to get to that API streaming. So I'm going to go to the source here. This is our main Python file that we have. We also have a requirements file. Ultimately, we were not able to get the API to be streaming, but as you saw on our details page, it does appear it looks like we are calling the API, and I think that ultimately it came down to the parsing of what we were calling that was failing, especially when I was looking at some of the log files and other different things like that when I was trying to troubleshoot. A lot of hours were spent on trying to get this API connection to work, but ultimately, with the deadline approaching for the final assignment being due, we decided that it might be better for us to stop what we were doing with the API and continue on with the assignment. Also, I'm going to show you quickly here too. I was also trying to test out the function, doing different calls to my pub subtopic, my project ID, the path to my cloud storage. So I do here have a pub subtopic that I was calling in that function, and I also have a bucket called the final assignment that I was referring to with links to the streaming data. Ultimately, it felt like we were really close, but we weren't able to do it, so I decided to move on. So to do that, we decided to use an archived version of the Open Weather to compare that to the Iowa liquor sales. And similar to the Iowa liquor sales, I'm here in the BigQuery. There are public data sets available in BigQuery, and the NOAA, they had the Open Weather available, and it actually is updated daily, so it is actually pretty close to being a streaming data set. So it is very live, so we thought that we would still be able to get a lot of insight by connecting to this archived weather data set and the Iowa liquor sales. Thank you.
Hello, My name is Andrew Celio, and today I'll be giving you a brief tour of our interactive dashboard. This first page here shows the relationship between weather and alcohol sales. At the top, you can see the breakdown of alcohol type, how they sell compared to other alcohols, and the average bottles sold and projected sales. On the bottom half, you can see total bottles sold by average temperature, rainfall, and snowfall. On the alcohol tab, you can select a specific alcohol, for example, tequila, to see how they stack up against other types of alcohol or each other. You can also narrow your search to specific ranges of temperatures, rainfall, or snowfall. On the second page, we can see the relationship between alcohol sales and the day of the week, as well as long-term effects on the weather has on sales. This graph shows the alcohol sales decrease during the weekend versus the week. We use the grant as insight into consumer habits, such as an interesting trend that 80 proof vodka outsells all other types of alcohol only on Saturdays. You can also look at sales based on the average week of the year, so you can plan for future purchases. This interactivity will allow our users to turn procurement into a streamlined, data-driven process.
Hi, my name is Kira Dillon, and I want to dive in on a comprehensive analysis and set some strategic recommendations for America Vodka's inventory management. Our team does have a recommendations and analysis document you can find in our Team GitHub, but I wanted to present to you our dashboard to have some data in front of us. Our first analysis you will find on the top left here. It's representing the popularity of American vodka, which continually chops the sales charts all across the seasons. We can see this on our dashboard clearly. It's imperative that we prioritize maintaining American vodka as our stocked alcohol. Having this stocked all the time is a great start to a successful sales increase for American vodka. Moving on to another analysis and recommendation our team presents is a promotional placement of the alcohol to advance visibility. Strategic placement of lower selling alcohols adjacent to American vodka and whiskey can significantly boost their appeal and sales. Our data strongly suggests that proximity to high selling items can enhance visibility and drive all team sales. The next in-depth recommendation our team has came to follows from the analysis of the inventory management of the peak seasons. Our analysis highlights a surge in alcohol purchases from late December through February. It is recommended that we increase inventory during these months, focusing on American vodka, tequila, and whiskey. These are the top sellers, particularly in January and February. This increase in inventory can drive more sales, as our data presents. Moreover, we do need to account for potential transportations due to inclement weather during these months. Speaking of weather, let's move on to a weather-related sales analysis and recommendation our team has presented. Surprisingly, through here, we see that inclement weather does not decrease sales. It increases sales and slightly boosts them. You can see this on our dashboard. To cater this unexpected sales surge, we need to ensure ample inventory available during unpredicted inclement weather conditions, preventing any supply chain disruptions. Continuing a high inventory during these spiked months and weather causes can initiate more sales growth, especially where there might be a lack of inventory in the past. We also analyzed weekday versus weekend sales. You can find this on our dashboard here. It is advertised to stock higher inventories during the weekdays, maintaining an average of approximately 2,000 bottles per type, which you can find right here on the top of our dashboard. Along with that, adjusting weekend inventories to be roughly 36% less based on observed sales data. This will allow us to optimize our inventory based off the exact time of the week. Our last and fun recommendation is featured cocktail initiative. This approach came from our analysis of encouraging sales among different types of alcohol. To elevate the sales of vodka and other alcohols, we propose the introduction of featured cocktail cards. These cards will showcase preferred mixers and drink recipes, promoting not only vodka, but encouraging sales of neighboring alcohols that we have listed up above here. We predict that this increase will increase overall sales in a fun and a perky way. By implementing and understanding all these data-driven decisions, our aim is clear: optimize sales, enhance customer experience, and ensure efficient inventory management based off weekdays, weathers, and other different information. Through these strategic steps, we are poised to strengthen our market position, capitalize on trends, and maximize our profitability. Thank you for joining us today in analyzing American vodkas.